Hello, patrons.
How's it going, patrons?
How's it going? Hey, folks. So guess what? We ditched Legend of Grimrock, and we thought there's been a lot of people asking. So I said, "Hey, John, what would you think about playing Dark Souls? It's a game called Dark Souls 2. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. It's pretty cool." And John was like, "Well, I don't really want to do that." And I was like, "Well, we're gonna do that."
Okay, I was about to ask. I don't know how you convinced me to do this, and then now that you've explained it so simply, I realized I wasn't given a choice.
Okay, so here's the deal, patrons. I understand that I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls this year, especially Dark Souls 2 coming out. The PC version is out.
Yeah.
I thought, as a sequential thing, maybe you guys would like to see me try to play all the way through Dark Souls 2. So I'm going to go ahead and hit new game here.
I'm just going to be here to make fun of Jeff.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We're going to watch the intro, but I want you guys really to vote this time. Vote with your mouth or your likes or dislikes, and tell me if you want to see this, because this is a big investment to do all of Dark Souls 2. And I'd love to do it. I have no problem doing it, but I just don't want to do it if all of y'all are Dark Souls'd out.
Yeah.
So if you're Dark Souls'd out and you don't want to see this, please let us know in the comments below, because the last thing I want to do is be in the forest and make you feel like you've been rained on and that you fell down and that it's all shitty and stuff outside.
It's a bit of a stretch, but you got to work.
There you go.
Well done. I appreciate it.
I try. I also got to say that this did give me an excuse to play Dark Souls 2 on the PC, where it looks lovely.
Yeah, I think, what was it? Someone on Steam, they saw that you were achieving on it, and they were like, "Oh, Jeff, no."
Yeah, they were like, "Oh no, no, Jeff. Oh, Jeff, please." But you know what? This would give me a reason to every week play some Dark Souls 2 without playing Dark Souls 2. Of course, I got to say, I played some Dark Souls 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
Just to check out the PC version.
Make sure it was up to snuff.
Right. Then I played some Wolfenstein. That Wolfenstein game is really good.
Here's the thing. I did not want to buy that game because I didn't like the last Wolfenstein game, which was shit.
Yeah.
Then I saw your playthrough for the new one, and then I kept hearing all these reviewers being like, "No, it's actually really good."
It's
and I'm like,
really good.
And I'm like, "God damn it! Now I have to buy it."
So you haven't seen any Dark Souls 2, right?
I have not.
Okay. So basically, this beginning is a lot more nebulous than the beginning of Dark Souls 1. They're basically setting up the fact that you are hollow, right? That your character has
Loretta?
the cursed dark sign. And how are you going to get rid of that? How are you going to keep your humanity? And so this is telling you that there's a kingdom way to the north called Drang Lake, and that you need to go there, basically.
So I have a question.
Yes.
From what little I remember of Dark Souls 1.
Yes.
I thought all the dragons were dead.
They are.
What were all those things flying around?
Okay,
moving on.
To explain to you exactly what is going on there, I would have to basically jump forward about 10 to 15 hours in the storyline of Dark Souls 2.
So it is something that is touched on.
Yes.
Okay, then that's all.
Yes.
That's all I need to know.
I didn't actually even understand it the first time that I played through the game, but yes, there is an explanation, or at least this game is a lot more nebulous about its lore than Dark Souls 1 was, and there are hints of exactly who those dragons are and where they came from. Now, this part I don't really understand. Right? You have the old woman. She's telling you about the dark sign. She's telling you you've got to go to Drang Lake. It's in the north. You've got your character, and then he comes up to this, or he or she. Well, it's always a he in the beginning, and that's a little weird because in Dark Souls 1 they let you choose.
Yeah.
Your whole gender and race and everything before you start. Here it starts very different. You'll see in a moment what that's all about. So your character goes across this lake, and then there's all these fucking Indiana Jones shit coming at you.
Someone open up the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, well, it's God's flushing, the toilet. And so I don't know why he's come to this arch, what the fireflies are, why there are skulls coming out.
Well, the fireflies are fireflies. That's why when they passed the torches, they caught on fire. Because that's what fireflies do.
Okay. And then why does your character do this? I mean, apparently the implication, of course, is that there was the woman in the house or whatever, that you had a life and then you caught the dark sign and you left and you journeyed forward. But it's so much more if that woman is supposed to be your wife, once again, that's that's more concrete about your character's gender and their background than in the previous one, where it's just like you're in an asylum where the dead are because that's where they put the dead, is in an asylum. So
it just turned out you were mostly dead.
You're mostly dead. So here you go ahead and start out, and ooh, look how pretty.
Oh, that is actually very nice.
It's really pretty. And I'm capturing in 720, but it's rendering at 1080.
Oh.
And it's a full 1080. I've got everything all jacked up, and as near as I found so far, it's really, really just super, super smooth.
Nice.
What? Sky butthole. Sky butt crack. Sorry, not butthole. That would be different.
Is it a tear in time, like in Doctor Who or something?
I don't know. It's where you're going. I mean, it's kind of it's interesting in a visual way, right? Is like, they start you out in this place, and like the only thing you could see is like, I want to go there. That looks better than this bullshit. So you're going to go up here. I'm going to skip a little bit of things between.
So they do have you covered head to toe. So I guess, so that you can't really, like, it's very obviously a male body. But I mean, okay, well, there you go. Never mind. Never mind what I was going to say. I was going to say that's nebulous enough that when you do you create a character in this game?
Yes.
Okay, so that when you do create your character,
you can choose whatever you want to, but they did this at the very beginning, and I still don't know exactly why. I'm going to go down here and pick the smooth and shiny real fast.
All right, there you go. Now I will say, you and I played Dark Souls for the very first episode of our show.
Yes.
The Super Awesome Video Game Show.
Yes.
And you taught me a lot. And I have not played Dark Souls since then. But I did actually recently buy Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition for the PC. Because it was like $5.
Yep.
On Steam.
So here we go. You come in here, and you know what, guys? I know a little bit about this stuff, so I'm going to say a few things about this. These women are the firekeepers or I don't know if they're the ones from the first game, but they are firekeepers. Like, you remember in the first one, the woman who upgraded your Estus flask. There's like 2 or 3 other firekeepers in the game, in Dark Souls 1 that you run into.
Yeah.
But I don't like these ladies because they're kind of jerks. They're not really very positive. They need to have a better attitude. And they just... Yeah. I often wonder about people who started with Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
And how all this stuff looks to them.
Yeah.
But we're going to let them laugh at us for a while.
To me, it just looks like a bunch of women sitting around laughing and making fun of you.
So now this is where you create your character. Is you have to try to recall your name. And I got to stand up for a second to type in a name. What name should we have? I'm just going to, you know what, fuck it.
Just make something, Jeff. He's typing his name. Our name is Rage.
Pure unadulterated rage. Uh-oh. Wait, nope.
Gotta hit enter.
All right. That's the one part of this that's weird, is that all of the customization and stuff.
Wait, all of it is you have to use the keyboard, or just that?
Just that. That's literally the only time in the entire game where you have to hit the keyboard and you can't use the controller for it. Well, I guess in Dark Souls 1 you had to type in your name there as well. Now we had when we did our Dojo episode for this, we created Maurice, Prophet of Dongacles.
I do very vaguely remember Maurice.
I'm not going to make Maurice.
No.
Maurice deserves his own story. But we made Maurice a cleric, and I am going to be a cleric because the way that and I'll tell you guys why. This is I feel like this is kind of be like half Patreon and half
what we normally
Super
do.
Awesome Video Game Show. Yeah. So I think that the way that this game starts with first off, you can see that unlike Dark Souls, none of these except for the Deprived start at level 1. In Dark Souls 1, the Pyromancer started at level like 1 or 2. You'll also notice that when you look at all these, only one of them starts with a shield. Only the warrior has a shield to start with. So, but the nice thing about the cleric is that you actually have your healing items in the game come at a much slower pace than they did in the first one, and the cleric starts with a healing spell. Which is really nice. And then for gift, I'm going to go ahead and just pick a life ring because it gives you more life. And should we... I don't even know if you want to mess with any of this stuff.
It's up to you.
Build. I like skinny, strong. I don't like the default face. It looks like.
Yeah, it looks a little.
Actually, did I switch over to a lady?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I was it.
You did it by pure
Force of habit.
force of habit.
Meh. All right, that guy. That's fine. This doesn't really matter because you spend the entire game with a
Helmet on.
Helmet on, so
We'll make him balding.
that's fine. That's fine. I actually know that guy.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I know that guy.
Cool.
Okay, this is your true self. Yes. There's actually a weird thing. So check this out, John. Like in the very beginning of the game, there's this area that you can go to,
Yeah.
and you can get in this like coffin, and it goes out into the water, and then it comes back, and you get out of it. And I didn't do that until later on in the game. And when I first played Dark Souls 2, I created a lady. And so I was just messing around. I was doing stuff. I was rolling through the game. And at one point I was like, wait a minute. My character's a guy now. It turns out that if you get inside of that coffin and leave, when you come back, it switches the gender of your character.
Oh, yeah?
And I didn't know that. I was just like, how did I created a lady character and now I've totally got a guy? Like, I usually use Jane as my default name for my lady characters, and when I had this dude, this big muscular dude running around named Jane, and I was just like,
Fans of Firefly know that being called Jane is not a bad thing.
This is true. Very true. Now, I don't like that at all.
The close-up of her mouth?
No, what she's saying here, she says you'll lose your souls over and over again, and then they laugh at you, and it's almost like the developers are just spitting in your face with that line. Like, anyway, so I think we're through here. We've discarded our filthy rags. Now our character, I'm going to go ahead and switch these to mace in one hand. That's another really interesting thing about a cleric that we found out with Maurice, is that by default, the mace that you get takes 12 strength. By default, clerics only have 11 strength. So you can't actually use the mace effectively unless you use it two-handed. Because in Dark Souls, if you don't have the strength requirement for something, you can use it two-handed. But when you start the game, your character literally does not have the stats to use the equipment that they start the game with.
That's a little annoying.
That's a little bizarre. I'm also going to go ahead. I don't like to use up life gems, so I'm going to take those away. So right now, I've got 3 heals, the mace. I've got the starting equipment, which is just this robe, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this.
Your cart.
This is pretty cool. In Dark Souls 2, one of the things that they did was you have a torch.
Yeah.
So you can see that my torch only has 5 minutes worth of time on it. So when you use a torch, you can't have a shield. You can't use two-handed stuff. But what you can do is you can light stuff in an area to make the area easier to get around. It's not as big a thing here as it is later on. Now, this is actually the opening. This is the tutorial, but I'm going to skip it because I already know everything. When you go into these,
look who's so smart.
Yeah, you go into these fog doors and they give you all the tutorial. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the first one so I can get the shortcut to Smooth and Silky opened.
All right.
Which should take no time, as I'm hoping to get to at least the second bonfire in the or the Forest of the Giants before we're done.
Dude's just walking around, and he just was like, hey, man, let's go mace to the head.
That's right. He's like, wait, I live in this tree. This tree is my home.
He's just walking up to shake your hand. He's walking up to greet you.
Backstab.
He was just enjoying the view.
Everybody get some from Rage. I should have given him a proper name. Oh, well. You guys, you know what? We will not get through 30 minutes worth of this before we're done. So if you guys want to vote in the comments on a name, I'll totally just restart and put the name and then just do whatever we do in this first episode. Damn it. Hit him. I'm trying to do this way too fast.
Yeah.
But I don't care. So yeah, these little things here, they're the ones that tell you those are your tutorials essentially.
Okay, yeah. No, I was actually curious about that.
Oop,
Tells you how to backstep, and now this guy is kicking your ass.
That's fine.
And now he's gone.
I mean, I could be locking on to all these guys, but I was just trying to
do it
roll.
quickly. Yeah.
Yep. So
Is that another player?
Yeah, that's another
right.
player. Well, actually, we'll probably be doing multiplayer before this is all done. In fact, if there are people out there who are invested in the Dark Souls 2 multiplayer, there's actually a thing that you can do to give to get closer to players in the same covenant as you.
Okay.
So let's see. Leave. Is that what you do? And then they give you something in return. So in the first 2 games, I hate the voices on these characters. So in the first 2 games, there was a character. There was like a nest.
Yeah.
And
I vaguely remember it. Yeah.
In that nest, you would drop something, and then you would log out of the game, and you would log back in, and you would get something. That right there, that Silky Smooth, is the equivalent of that in this game, except that it happens right away. You just drop a thing, and then you immediately get another thing. And throughout the game, you'll get those little stones. You'll get the Smooth and Silky Stone, and when you get that, you can go back over to them and trade them for stuff. So that Titanite chunk that I just got is like when you're upgrading your weapons, you do Titanite shard, 2 Titanite shards, 3 Titanite shards, and then Titanite chunk to get up to +4. So that's actually a really useful thing to grab early on in the game. I was actually, when I first started playing the game, I was getting those Titanite, or I was getting those Smooth and Silky Stones from helping other people in multiplayer.
Yeah.
I had no idea what they did. So this is Majula. Welcome to Majula. I'm going to go ahead and grab, I think there's a life gem over here. There's a lot of interesting characters in this particular place.
Breaking stuff all over the place.
Yeah, you gotta. But one of my favorites is Shanquat. There you go. Meow.
Oh, undead, are we?
So this is this cat that hangs out here.
Time remaining.
What does she call herself? Like Fabulous Shanquat is her name,
Yeah.
and she sells you stuff.
Be chatting with a cat.
Just a cat.
Yeah. Well, there was a cat in Dark Souls, but it was a much bigger, more crazy-looking cat.
Suit yourself.
Lazy looking
Oh,
cat.
yes. You
Shanquat.
may call me Shalqua.
Shalqua.
Enchante.
Enchanté.
John, I think this cat might be hitting on me.
A little bit.
Ma'am, I'm flattered, but
Dog person.
I'm afraid I need to go. Goodbye.
Oh my.
So we're going to go see the Crestfallen Warrior real fast.
Okay.
In Dark Souls and I believe Demon Souls, there was also a Crestfallen Warrior. I know there's one in Dark Souls. I can't remember if there's one in Demon Souls. I think there is. Yeah. He's a ghost in the Nexus. So this guy, he's just...
Undead.
He's not having a good day.
You have that distinct scent, the smell of irreversible.
What do you think that smells like?
Irreversible fate?
It is a kind
Grapefruit?
of settlement.
Yeah, grapefruit. I don't know.
Purple nerds, maybe?
In Drang Lake these days.
I'm going to skip a little bit
Maybe
of this.
strawberry yoo-hoo.
I am Solden.
So he's basically...
It was possible to break the... Well, that's not true.
he's not having a good day. He's just... He's a real downer, man.
For you,
Well, you're just
So-
down here in the middle of nowhere, pondering life.
even I
If you
have
talk to him,
seen
I'm going to skip through some of this stuff, but if you talk to him enough, he'll let you join a covenant.
Okay.
sentient,
Um,
what we call the curse is
And
true
that
seed.
covenant gives you a ring that if you wear it, it gives you a little bit of life. And
And that's
if you get invaded, it will summon somebody that's in that
Oh, okay.
to come in and help you against whoever comes after you.
Each has a pack.
Okay.
If that frightens you.
Blah, 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 blah. Come on, dude.
TLDR, dude. Come on.
There we
Let's
go.
Let's go.
Well, no, this is, there's like one other cutscene in this entire game. So this is like where you get all of
Yeah,
your backstory.
all of your backstory.
Now, one of the things that's crazy about Dark Souls 2 is that in Dark Souls 1, there were covenants and you could join them. So he's going to ask you to join the Blue Sentinels. And you can join a covenant. Now, in Dark Souls 1, if you broke with your covenant, you had to go request absolution and pay
That is a
for
wise decision.
an absolution, or else you were an oath breaker and people would come into your game to kill you. Here, you can just switch. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't
Oh.
give a fuck.
Well, that's a little disappointing.
Okay, so, and this is pretty cool. That's a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
That's a lot
And counting.
of deaths.
I think someone died while we were looking at it.
I wouldn't be surprised. All right, let's get these rings on. Life ring and our blue seal. And let's talk to the Emerald Herald. Hey, lady. What's going on? Hey.
Are you the next monarch?
Maybe.
Maybe. Who's
Or
asking?
merely a pawn of fate,
Maybe. Who's asking?
bearer of the curse? I will remain by your side till this frail hope.
Everybody's so just bleh.
They just need to learn to turn that frown upside down.
That's right.
Always look on the bright side of life and all that jazz.
What it once was.
Though jazz can also be pretty depressing.
King Vendrick.
All right. So she has given us our goal.
All right.
Go find King Vendrick. And she's also given us an Estus flask, but just one.
Okay.
You remember the last game we got 5?
Yeah.
Just one.
Seems kind of shitty.
Well, there's more out there, but that's one of the reasons that I like starting the game as a cleric is because, with your one Estus flask and then the 3 heal spells and the life gems that you get a fair amount of you get a little bit of a leg up as opposed to like a warrior where you just have the one Estus flask. Rusted coin.
Rusted coin.
Now, one of the things I don't know if I went over in our other video, but like all this is where every bit of the story for Dark Souls is.
Oh, yeah.
Coin engraved with the image of a god that was worshipped in ancient times, but no one knows its true origins. So a lot of times looking at the descriptions of other people's souls or weapons or all kind. I mean, like if you even look at our own armor. Little is known about the Archdrake sect and its ancient rituals, but it is said that their well-honed miracles and unwavering faith in the face of death made them worthy rivals to Drangleics forces in the day. So, robes of the Archdrake sect of Lindelt.
All right.
So we're going to get into the forest of the Giants, I believe, and hit up our first bonfire. So a lot of people have asked me to do another video like we had for Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this before, but it's worth saying again. I don't know this game as well as I know Dark Souls 1. I had like 5 years of practice with Dark Souls 1 before we ever made that video. And countless other, and I'm not ashamed to say that a lot of my information came from other people who made Dark Souls their primary focus for years.
Yeah.
Practiced certain things, looked at gaming parts of the system. So I just don't know this game as well as that game. Plus, like, you remember the third video that we did for Dark Souls where we went and we got all that stuff?
Yeah.
You can't really do that here. Like, in the beginning of the game, you can go to the Forest of the Giants and Heidi's Tower or whatever, Tower of Flame, Heidi's Tower of Flame.
Yeah.
You can also, you need money to get this ring that'll let you go down that well that was in the middle of Majula. But you can't just go down that stuff by default. So really, when you start this game, you've got 2 places that you can go. This place and one other place.
That seems kind of, I don't know.
I mean, it basically keeps people from going down the wrong path, which if you're looking to make a game that's a little bit more accessible is cool, but it also just feels a little bit less...
Dark Souls?
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, a summon sign. So here's our first bonfire. Also, bonfire placement in this game is a little weird. Like, you'll notice from the opening bonfire to this bonfire, like, almost nothing. Like, 2 guys in between those 2 bonfires.
Yeah.
Like, it almost says, why wouldn't you just kind of push that out a little bit further? All right, so we're going to try to... Shit. Now, see, one of the other things is that you don't have invincibility frames anymore when you're doing backstabs. There we go.
That's a little sad.
Yeah.
But, you deal with it.
I think I'm actually going to... Okay, I got a life gem, got a hollow infantry helm. I think I'm going to go ahead and put on all these garbage things, and I'm going to pull some life gems. Life gems are new. They basically let you... There are one-time use consumable items that give you back health, which is a little weird in the Soul series. Is that Demon Soul or Demon Souls? Sorry, not Dragon Souls. There's never been a Dragon Souls. Demon Souls had that. Dark Souls did not. So it's almost like a hybrid of the systems from the first 2 games.
Now, I will admit, I did not ever play Demon Souls. Because that was a PlayStation exclusive, and I don't think I had a PlayStation at the time.
Demon Souls is fairly unforgiving, especially in some ways it's more unforgiving than Dark Souls because it's got secret systems that they don't show you by default. Look, dude, I know. Yeah, I know you're alive.
Because you saw someone fighting him.
Well, I know he's alive because I've gone through this area a whole bunch of times.
Well, there's that too. I was just trying to, I don't know, shut up.
All right. How much time? Can you tell me? Give me a time. Let's see how much time we got. Okay, so we got about 5 minutes left.
Yup.
Shit. Well, this is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. This area is not
Forgiving?
the best. Well, they start you out pretty easily with kind of those one at a time guys, and then they give you this area that has a whole bunch of dudes all at the same time.
Oh, that was, you almost got hit.
Yeah, you've actually got a fast climb in this game, which you
That's
didn't
nice.
have before. No. There we go. Because I got those guys coming up right behind me.
Oh, it was nicely done.
It's funny, oh, shit.
Oh, that guy's got some, Oh,
no.
You whiffed.
Oh, no. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna back up just a little bit. And then I'm going to heal.
Probably a good idea to heal.
Now, that heal on the cleric takes forever to run, as you can see. Like, it's
Yeah.
it's got a really slow wind up. So it's better to use when you've after
Dealt
you've
with everything.
finished dealing with the assholes that are
Yeah.
around. Urgh. Oh, nope, need to run and jump.
You know, for a second there, I thought I was about to say, hey, wasn't this area in Dark Souls, the first one? And then I realized I'm remembering seeing you play this from that one time you played this on the Sunday stream.
Oh,
It dawned
Yeah.
on me. I was like, wait, because I've never played this game, and I didn't really watch it.
yeah. I've got a much better handle on the very beginning of the game. After looking up a few things that I didn't know before about it. Like, I went back and fought Dragon Slayer Ornstein briefly, and it was way easier.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I just brought other people with me, but it's still way easier. All right, so I also realized there's places like this that I didn't get to before. I really can't say how much I love the fact that that this game now has, like, in the previous game, you would jump by holding down the dash button and then tapping it a second time to jump.
That seems a little weird.
Now you click in L3.
Oh.
And that is a really good change. All right, and then I know there's a couple more guys in here I don't want to deal with before I get to that stupid Heidi Knight. You guys, I know, okay, you are playing possum, aren't you?
Of course. She's like, hey, man, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
So this guy will not, this is a Heidi Knight, he will not mess with you until you mess with him.
Oh.
There's a couple of these guys in the game, and he's got a sword that's pretty decent, but I really want his souls. So
Give me your soul.
give me your souls. Okay. That was incredibly bad. Okay. Damn it. I needed to get 2 hits on him. Fortunately, the mace hits hard enough that it can interrupt him. Shit.
Nice dodge.
When you start with no shield, you really got to get used to dodging. And
I keep wanting to make Monty Python references.
Yeah.
That's the only problem I'm having is I'm trying to hold back. I'm trying not to make them.
Come on, man. This isn't the Super Awesome Video Game Show. You can make all the Monty Python
I feel like
references
it'd be
you want.
easy though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is I'm like, that's an easy joke to go for.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Come on, man. This is Rage Select. Don't try so hard. No, I'm just kidding. Now, one of the things I really don't like about Dark Souls 2, really don't like, is the fact that I've got these souls, right?
Yeah.
You have to actually teleport back to Majula in order to upgrade.
What?
Yeah, you've got to get the Emerald Herald. You have to talk to her in order to get her to do your upgrades. Also, you see the little red line below my mace?
Yeah.
That's the durability of my mace.
So you got to repair it.
Well, the thing is that it's a weird trade-off, right? Because in the previous game, you would buy you bought this repair box, and every time you stopped at a bonfire, you could repair.
Yeah.
Here, every time you rest at a bonfire, it automatically repairs. But you'll
Okay.
see that, like, I've been adventuring for a while. That thing's like lower than half dead, right?
Yeah.
So I, a lot of times in the game, found myself getting 2 identical weapons or carrying 2 different weapons and then switching off. Ooh, shit. Switching off halfway through to the weapon that still had some durability left on it. Come on, jerk. Come on, jerk. What? I'm a jerk. Oh, no.
Oh.
Don't be a jerk.
He is a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
Totally a jerk.
Throwing fire bombs. You are a just straight up jerk.
It's a dick move.
Yep. All right, let's get this guy and get what? A shield? That would be crazy. This is a really shitty shield. I'm not even going to use it. So this opening area has a whole bunch of really, really useful stuff in it, and I have a fair amount of souls, so I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to. This is a really bad idea because there's a bonfire right behind this door that I should have gone to instead of doing that. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do here is I'm pretty sure that we're probably going to run a little bit over time, but there's another area down there that has a couple of things that I need. Oh, no, don't summon him. Oh, God damn it. You can't leave once you've summoned somebody. I'm sorry, Shade WTF. I can't.
Did you just summon WTF?
Yes, I did. Oh, man. Dude, I'm so sorry. Do I have the thing that I need to kick people out of my game? Separation crystal, yes. I'm really sorry, man. That was totally a mistake. It was totally a mistake.
Is that someone you know, or
no?
is that just
It's just
some
this is
random dude?
in this opening area. This is a very common place to put down your summon signs. So what
Yeah.
happened was there was a summon sign that was right next to the bonfire, and I was just going a little bit too fast, and so I hit the summon sign instead of resting at the bonfire.
Well, WTF, if somehow you watch this video,
Sorry. That was all me.
Maybe don't put your summon sign so close to the bonfire.
Well,
No, it's totally our fault.
it's totally my fault.
It's Jeff's fault.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
Blame Jeff. Please blame Jeff.
But you should keep watching if you are watching.
Yeah. Nobody's going to stop watching it. Fuck that guy. Okay, let's see if I can jump. Jump. Whoop. Human effigy. So effigies are like humanity in this game. That's how you go from
Okay.
from being a soulless monster back to being human is you use a human effigy. God damn it.
Also,
really
it dawns
trying-
on me that if that guy is watching, that means he's a Patreon subscriber, which means he's awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Just like all of you watching.
Yes, absolutely. Once again, let us take this opportunity to once again say to the patrons, guys, let us know in the comments if you want to see this. If you don't want to see this, I don't want to just flood you with bullshit, all right? This is not, this is, I'm looking for something sequential to play. There's a couple of other things that we've got that we could maybe do, but we had some people on the website who have been requesting that we do Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give it to them as an option. This could be the
Say,
end of
hey,
me.
we did play it. It's a little bit of a hybrid. Sometimes we're cracking jokes. Sometimes we're being a little bit serious. Whoa. Oh, okay. He was fighting somebody. That dude died. Looked
Yep.
like he hit you because you went down to heal right as his
Oh,
thing hit. And it
yeah.
looked like, wait, what?
Come here, ass.
Whoa, are those like people?
Yeah. Those are petrified people.
That's never a good sign. Probably like a Medusa around here or something.
See, usually in the Dark Souls series, that would indicate that there is. Well, no, that's curse. When people curse and die in Dark Souls, they become spiky and brittle. Okay, now if I'm not mistaken, there should have been a door that opened and 2 dudes came out of it right behind me. Did that happen? Are you guys in here still? Okay.
Apparently they did come out.
But where did they go? Or did you guys
they're
go
down
back?
there? I don't know.
I think I can hear them. Oh, no, they're going to jump down from up there. Okay, so you don't want to spend too much time in here. because of that asshole.
Is that what the hell is that?
It's like a salamander. Open. Okay. Ooh.
Ooh,
And what
so close.
we came in here to do is we need to get
There
this.
he is.
There he is. Oh, you piece of garbage, human paraquat.
Oh. Ass face.
Oh man. Okay. We came in here to get this sword, which I haven't actually used yet, but as I understand it,
Pretty good sword.
well, it's a fire long sword, but fire. See, down there below where it says C,
Okay.
fire stacks with faith, and we're gonna, since we're a cleric, we're gonna be getting a shit ton of faith before this is all over.
Oh, okay.
So that for right now, the mace is still a better weapon, but as
For
soon
later.
as I
Yeah.
start leveling up, then I should be able to start using that sword. And since it stacks with faith, that means that as I level up my faith, it will get way more powerful than this club will eventually. Because the clubs in this game stack with strength. Oh wait, no, I can't go this way. Ow. Clubs and
Yeah.
those sorts of weapons, bashing weapons, stack with your strength.
And you're a cleric. Clerics aren't known for being strong.
Well, actually, well, I don't know. I have a hard time knowing exactly. Like, I've had a couple of weird builds in Dark Souls, but this time we're going with a lot of faith, some strength, enough dexterity to wield the sword, and then we're going to go with vitality and stuff. That,
A lot of faith.
ahead of
and
that.
A lot of luck.
That's right. Some attunement. Need some attunement for to be able to have multiple spells. And I think so. We're probably way over time now,
We
right?
are. Yeah.
Okay.
We're like 35.
Okay.
Or actually 37.
Well,
Probably
what
now.
I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end here because before we start the next time, we'll have a few different things to do. We'll have some souls now that we can actually level up with.
Yeah.
And I didn't die once this entire time. What?
I'm impressed.
Jeff is the greatest. He didn't die at level 1 of Dark Souls, a game he plays all the fucking time.
Imagine that.
So, patrons, this has been part 1, potentially, of Dark Souls 2 on the PC. Like I said, please, even if you don't normally, I mean, a lot of people will hit the like button, but, let me say this, right?
Yeah.
If you don't want to see this, hit the dislike button. It's not going to affect our YouTube stats. It's not going to affect anything. It's
yeah,
just
'cause
one
this
button.
Is the private video.
This is for patrons. So just hit the dislike button or go into the comments and say that you don't want to see this. And if you do, then we'll keep going. And if you don't, well, then we'll pick something else. And with that, I'll give everybody a nice wave goodbye. Bye, everybody.